Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will. Talk about it. And I am going to cover the dinar today because there's some exciting news that came out in the Restored Republic via GCR. And so I'm going to cover it. Of course, we all know that I say, keep it grounded, keep it grounded. But the information was new and different, and that's what I look for, new and different. So let's take a look at it. And we can see here that there's a high alert. And it says that at 9 p.m. Eastern on Friday, the 22nd of July, word was received that the Chinese elders have signed the proper documents, and the RV would start immediately. Bondholders in Tier 4B, us, the Internet Group, will go together and simultaneously. Zim bonds will be redeemed to fund projects for humanitarian purposes. The Iraqi and Iranian dinars, Vietnamese dong, and India rupiah were among other currencies in the first batch. It goes on to say, moving on here to relevant information, prosperity packages and settlements will likely be paid within days or up to a week after the RV. Evidently, the U.S. switched to gold-backed USN dollar currency on Friday, July 15th. For some time, many nations' gold-backed currencies, including the new Iraqi dinar and U.S. note rates, have been trading on the back screens of the international markets. Now, I do know the 15th is a currency reporting date of every month. Maybe before I end this video, I'll find I'll go do a little research and go find the site that shows that. But continuing on with this information, it says in Restored Republic updates, it has long been said that a major earth-shattering event, like a solar flare, power grid shutdown, nuclear threat, or declaration of war, would trigger a military takeover of cabal-led governments across the globe. Now, here's the one thing that is true about that. There are a lot of resignations going on with government leaders. And to highlight that point, this site here, Resignation.info, lists the notable resignations worldwide. I'm going to inject this in the video, and I want you to take note of the notable resignations that are occurring, which shows there's most certainly going on with the power structure, in the globe. You'll notice the numbers there for resignations, people, organizations, 171 countries affected. Now let's focus on notable resignations, such as this page here. And just going backwards, the Prime Minister of Italy resigned. The Prime Minister of Estonia resigned. The President of Sri Lanka, he's the one that had to run for his life, resigned. Another Prime Minister of Sri Lanka resigned. On the day the protesters stormed the president's residence, you see on both of those, they resigned. Okay, we see some who were fired. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, Government of Great Britain, resigned. Rishi Sunak, the Finance Minister, Great Britain, resigned. Look at this resignation affecting Great Britain. Sajid Javid, the Health Minister, UK, resigned. Saqib Bhatti, Private Secretary, UK, resigned. Jonathan Gullis, Private Secretary, UK, resigned. Bim Al-Falami, Vice Chairman, Conservative Party, UK, resigned. Andrew Murrison, Trade Envoy to Morocco, Government of Great Britain, resigned. Faris Antunes, CEO, resigned. That's of Luxembourg, country we're looking for governments. We see a Microsoft resignation. Here we go. Okay. The whole government of Kuwait on May 10th resigned. The entire government. The link for this site will be in the description. You can click on these other things and go find out more. But this is supportive of what I'm just trying to show you. Chief of Police, CNN. Here we go. Armen Sarkisian. See, there's so many others, though, folks. I'm just going for the countries. Armen Sarkisian, the president of the government of Armenia, resigned. Antonio of Credit Suisse in Switzerland, resigned. Leader of the Voice of Holland is a company. The whole government of Kazakhstan on January 5th of this year resigned. So then Allegra Stratton, advisor, government of Great Britain, resigned after leaked number 10 party video sparked some type of outrage. Moving on. Heinz Fassmann, education minister, government of Austria, he resigned. The chancellor, Alexander Schallenberg, resigned. Gernot Blumet, the finance minister, resigned, all of Austria. Moving on. Emily, communications chief of staff, White House, Emma Riley. She resigned, moved to the Department of Labor. Okay, so we might not, we'll dequalify that one. Country. We're looking for countries, and then we'll be done here just for illustrative purposes. Sebastian Kurz, Chancellor, Government of Austria. He resigned. Harold Koh, United States State Department, resigned amid explosion of Haitian migrants at southern border. Wow. So I'm sure you see the point here, folks. And as it continues on, you can see Government of New South Wales, Government of New South Wales, Government of New South Wales. Is there a shakeup of leadership going on quietly in this war? Yeah. And in my mind, folks, whatever is going on is in harmony with what we were reading about and learning about in the Restored Republic. But it's also in harmony with something else. And it's in Daniel chapter 2, I believe verse 44, that he will crush and put an end to all other kingdoms. Read what you want into it. But a lot of them are resigning and stepping down and running off. There's a lot of uprisings going on in different countries, including with the farmers. People are tired of the high prices and being crushed and crunched by the system. And they're keeping it quiet here in the U.S., like I mentioned in a prior video, but it's certainly happening. And we'll keep moving and see these events are unfolding as anticipated. Let me say that. It goes on to say the purpose of martial law is to maintain order until valid elections could be held in each country based on the basic human rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That sounds familiar, does it not? The Great Reveal, mass military action, was expected to occur sometime between now and Saturday, the 30th of July, so about a week from now. I'm doing this video on Sunday, the 24th, which just happens to be an anniversary for me, a marriage anniversary. It goes on to say that military action will likely include global martial law, along with launch of the emergency broadcast system and a 10-day lockdown of the world economy, while 8-hour documentaries played 24/7 to inform the general public on reasons for worldwide mass arrests. Okay, those are things that we're either going to see them happen or not, but it seems like you can't go unaffected by those any more than you can go unaffected by the next item. It says it's highly recommended that households store a 3-week supply of food, fuel, and essential items and cash in case of ATM or bank failure. Well, China's already brought out the tanks to protect the central banks, and bank runs that we're talking about in prior videos are certainly happening. And my most recent video before this one talked about the maneuver warfare, where they're cutting our supply, and specifically our food supply. And here it says it's highly recommended that households store a 3-week supply of food, fuel, and essential items. 3 weeks, folks. That's a long time. Now, I would imagine that 3 weeks is because they anticipate a week or two. But in any case, that does show the seriousness of it if you haven't taken note. Remember the prior video? Take note or starve. I might touch on that later at the end of this video. And look who's connected. Bill Gates, who's America's largest individual owner of farmland, is now facing scrutiny for his ownership of nearly 270,000 acres of farmland in 19 states. I guess you can click on that link. The link for this page will be in the description and see more at Twitter. So I thought I'd throw a little Twitter clips in here to show some of those uprisings that were referenced in support of farmers. Let's see what we got here. I don't hear anything. There it is. Those are Canadian farmers and truckers convoying in support of the Dutch uprising. How about this one though? At a music festival today, Dutch citizens cheered on the farmers. This isn't a niche uprising. It has legs to throw Rutte out of office. Interesting. How about this one? Spanish farmers join worldwide uprising. Worldwide uprising. Folks, maneuver warfare. They're coming after the food supply. They are burning up warehouses. See my prior video. They are putting the crunch on farmers to put them out of business because they want to control everything, including the food that we eat. But some people apparently are taking note, and they are rising up against it. Here's Sri Lanka, which was mentioned earlier in the Resignations. That guy had to run for his life. I'm not advocating revolts, folks. I'm sharing facts. But the uprising in Sri Lanka, farmers and tractors in Holland should serve as a warning to governments worldwide. Continue with the WF agenda and we will resist. Okay, World Economic Forum agenda. I am not trying to advocate any type of behavior like this. I am sharing supportive news, folks, to show that while they're keeping it hush in the United States, the world is awake and aware of what is going on. And our warfare, folks, it's a war against humanity. The World Economic Forum is pushing farmers to give up their farms voluntarily and receive compensation for doing so. In other words, put the squeeze on the condition that they guarantee never to go back to farming. If they disagree, the state will take over their farm. The same scheme is being done in the UK. Maneuver warfare. Folks, please, check out my prior video. Check out all my prior videos. Moving on. Global financial crisis. The CEO of failing Chinese real estate giant Evergrande resigns. Like many world leaders, as I mentioned before. World War III and the imminent collapse of the US dollar. We are now living in the Great Reset. We've been in the reset, folks. It's a matter of whether it's going to be the Great Reset or the global currency reset. In any case, there's going to be a reset. And in fact, the reset is underway. It's just a battle. It's a clandestine war, but it most certainly is a war for control. And without getting too involved in my Bible-based beliefs, mankind is not going to win this war. I'll stop there. White Hat Intel. I guess White Hat is supposed to be the good guys. Middle East, South America, and Venezuela has cut off oil. Several countries in the Americas and EU have cut ties off with the American corporation's fiat money system. Several countries across the world have denied Biden and said no to attending his America's Summit meeting invite. They're sending the message, folks. And over there, the BRICS nations that I've also talked about in my videos, with Russia taking the lead along with China, um, they are and have switched over to a new monetary system, as has other ASEAN countries, like in the Philippines, where they've arranged to be able to do trade absent the USD, absent the US dollar. So is there some truth to what we're reading here? Absolutely, yes. Is it something that we kind of anticipated? Absolutely, yes. Have you been watching my videos to try to get ahead? I'm listening. Did you say absolutely yes? Or are you new here? Well, if you're new here, please like and please subscribe and come on back. And I recommend, if you haven't watched my prior videos, to follow this course of activity, this course of history, that you do so. Keep in mind that I do not try to join the echo chambers. I am not trying to say the same things everyone else is saying, because I don't think the same as everyone else thinks, and neither do you if you're listening to me. And so what we have to say, I believe, should be just as individualized as we are on our perspectives of what we see. And that's what you get here at DK We'll Talk About It. You get my perspective on things and my interpretation of things, which so far has been relatively accurate. I'm probably betting, 900, 850 to 900 maybe. I'm not betting 1,000, but that's okay. Who can? I'm not a fortune teller. I just try to read the patterns. Moving on. In 2021, the UK had 22 trillion in gold delivered by the US military from Cheyenne Mountains military base operations. The fall of Sri Lanka. There's one place where the leader of that country ran off and hid. It says major plans are slated to use Sri Lanka as a beta testing ground to see a regime fall and quickly rebuild through gold-backed Gisara currency. Europe was in full collapse as markets crashed, small banks closed, and MSN reports on the recession. Well, China's already gone through it too, and it's coming here to the United States if you're a United States citizen, folks. Please, please take note and get ready. And when I say get ready, yeah, you probably want to make sure you get some food. So as far as cash, I mean, I'm not chasing cash, to be honest with you. I think that if you have all the food you need and essential items like your prescription meds, if you have any, and water, of course, water, and you can sit still for a little while and make your way through this, then why would you go out there and use cash anyway? Um, that's just my thoughts on it. It's the same as when the COVID thing happened and I was working at the bank. And a lot of people came, there's a bank run. We had to up the reserves in the vault because people were coming to pulling their money out. And we were trying to satisfy people and give them their money. And the whole time I was doing it, I was thinking, everyone's coming and getting their money, but how are they going to spend it when everything was shut down? And this is at a time when it was only if you were essential personnel, which apparently the banks were, because I was continuing to work. If you were essential personnel would you go to work. Everything else was closed at the beginning of the COVID thing. And so it didn't make sense to me. It's like you're running to get your money, but now where are you going to go spend it? It was easier to go online and spend it on that way. I'm just saying. Moving on. I got distracted. Hey, that's because I talk about it. DK will talk about it. Moving on. Gesara means global military forces shrink significantly and all wars cease. We are transitioning to global cybercom, AI defenses, and smaller elite tactical units. On Thursday, 21 July, the U.S. Army confirmation of initiating Gesara plans. The Secretary of the Army and the Chief of Staff of the Army issued a dual-signed memorandum to all Army commanders. The letter confirms the Army is shrinking total Army organization, relying on and increasing reserves for current ops, confirming older posts on reserve letters being sent out, expanding cybercom, and reorganizing into 5 MDTF. I don't know what that is, and I haven't looked it up. I hadn't looked it up yet. So now I looked it up because if I want to really be informative, I should be informative. And we can see that Cybercom up here, U.S. Command Center of the military, Cybercom, and you're gonna go there with me. And here it is, the U.S. Cyber Command is what Cybercom is, and we can see they have a website that I will put the link in the description. And if we go back real quick, it says up here, Right here. One of the 11 unified combatant commands of the United States Department of Defense. The Department of Defense has repeatedly been saying they have their hands on this global currency reset. So this is consistent. It unifies the direction of cyberspace operations and strengthens. What does it strengthen? Strengthens DoD cyberspace capabilities and integrates and bolsters DoD's cyber expertise. That'll also be in the description. And then I had to look up the MDTF, and it says that it's the Army's multi-domain task force. Okay, so let's go down here. That's the Maryland Test Facility. That's not what we want. The Army's multi-domain task force. Congressional Research Service. And so the first MDTF was created in 2017 as an experimental unit at joint base levels. So there is some actual accuracy and credibility. The links will be in the description if you're curious. And what I've learned, you click on one link, you get other links, and you can chase it that rabbit hole as much as you want. With me, I'm going back to the video's topic, which is the Restored Republic. So that's some information. It's kind of hot off the press kind of stuff because it says that it's happened. High alert, folks. The Chinese elders have signed the document, so it should be coming our way. And time will most certainly tell. So that's all I got on the Restored Republic via a GCR. I might do a little search and tag something on the end of this. I hope you enjoyed the information. The links will be in the description. Please like, please subscribe. And I've given the information on this because I think it's new and different. Noticing it doesn't really focus on the Iraqi dinar. But I had to talk about it because, see, this is DK, we'll talk about it. And that's about it. I've talked about it. And now I just want to encourage everyone to, use your own mind. Don't follow the trends, blinding the blind and falling off the cliff. Like it mentions there, if you carry your own, your own lantern, you don't have to fear the dark, because some dark times are coming. And part of those dark times, folks, is, stock up for yourself and your families if you have one. Stock up on the food, like they said way back when, Preparedness Month. It's going to come. Be prepared for some critical times, folks, and that's going to take critical thinking. And so, to avoid becoming the okayers up there falling off the cliff, you're going to need the art of thinking independently, but together. Remember the prior video. There's we and us, and there's they and them. And when I say they and them are those who take no note. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are taking note of the times we live in. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.